I'd like to introduce Vice President of Oregon State University and Director of Athletics, Scott Barnes.
Thank you. Thank you. So there's a pep rally scheduled for today. I just didn't know it was going to be during the press conference. So with that, is it a great day to be a Beaver? Absolutely. Let me thank a few people who were so helpful along the way in this journey. Certainly, and you'll hear from him momentarily, our President Ed Ray for his sage advice along the way and support. Appreciate him. Dan Bartholome, our Deputy Athletic Director and Sports Supervisor for football, along with us the whole way. Thank you for your support. And certainly DHR and Glenn Sugiyama for organizing this journey that we've been on over a period of time. Also, as we went through the process, several former players and some coaches and some other colleagues for their advice and thoughts as we move forward. And certainly can't forget about Beaver Nation and their outpouring of free advice along the way. A passionate, unbelievably passionate fan base we have. And at times like this, the care factor really shows, and our Beaver Nation did a wonderful job of showing how much they cared and ultimately supporting our decision. Let me talk to you just a bit about the process. This was unique as we think back. What unfolded mid-season put us in a really peculiar situation, but it also gave us an opportunity. And that opportunity was a chance to cast a much wider net than we might have normally cast without a protracted period of time. We were able to assess the landscape very quickly, and we're very pleased with the interest level of our position. We then moved on with access in mind. Those we were accessible to were coordinators first, and we were able to meet with them fairly early on in the process, even during the season. This was a bit of a hurry up and wait process because although our offensive and defensive coordinators around were accessible, sitting head coaches were not. So after interviewing coordinators, we continued to evaluate the landscape and assess the landscape, and then commenced as soon as the final game was played this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We started again in earnest. Let me tell you that one of the first individuals we interviewed in the process was Jonathan Smith. And from that point in time, Jonathan Smith became the benchmark for which we would compare others to. In the end, Tuesday night, we came back and sat with Jonathan for two reasons. One was to reaffirm what we already knew and to have a little deeper conversation in various areas, and ultimately offering him the position. That was an emotional time for Jonathan and myself. And when you think about Jonathan and you get to know him, the things you'll learn about him is that he has a bit of a tenacity to him. He is incredibly authentic. He's got grit. He's got unparalleled passion for this place. As I spoke to our student athletes and introduced Jonathan this morning, the one thing I told them was that understand who is before you. This is a man that won a championship, a conference championship here. He knows how to do it, and he knows how to do it the right way. The qualities we're looking for in a coach included the base, incredible integrity and high ethical standards, an incredible motor, and those things were very apparent. And as you think about those that Jonathan has worked for, the incredible pedigree that he has, having been tutored by the likes of Coach Peterson, Erickson, Riley, and others, the pedigree is something that we were very impressed with. Why? Because in the end, that pedigree has grown a young, heralded football player from Oregon State into one of the top offensive coordinators and young head coaches in America. And with that, I can tell you I'm unbelievably excited about the next chapter in Beaver football history. And with that, let me introduce to you, for a few more words, our president, Ed Ray.
Those of you who know me know that it's not coincidentally that people typically introduce me by inviting me to add a few more words. It's wonderful to be here. Good morning. I want to welcome Candace and Robert and Bella and Charlie. I think we have a few potential scene stealers here, so you'll want to keep a close eye on them as well. They're wonderful, wonderful young people. This is just an incredible day for all of Beaver Nation. Scott talked about my sage advice. I think if you probe that, you would find out that one of my greatest contributions is, like most couch potatoes, to keep my sage advice to myself and let the people who know what they're doing do their job. I'm very excited for all of us, for OSU football, for Beaver Nation, our athletics program, the university. This is just a great day for all of us. I think it's obvious to us, all of us who've been involved in this process, that we found the perfect person at the perfect moment to be coach here at Oregon State University. Jonathan's a proven winner. For those who doubt it, you need to look back only at the Fiesta Bowl in 2001, when the Beavers prevailed over Notre Dame 41-9, and Jonathan was named the offensive MVP. You know, I'm conflicted sometimes about the value of words. As an academic, I believe that words do matter. But as an administrator and someone who has to get things done, I also understand that talk is cheap. You got to produce results, and Jonathan is proven in the past that he can deliver results. I think he can connect with the players and all of Beaver Nation, but he knows what it takes to get to the very pinnacle of success in college football, and I think he's got the vision and the capability to help us to get back there. In other contexts, we talk about the fact that our graduates are the most important contribution we make to the future. It is not acceptable to be mediocre in the classroom. It is not acceptable to be mediocre on the field of competition. We strive for excellence in everything we do. And we need to be real with ourselves. Look at where we are. What do we expect going forward? What I expect us to move to very quickly is an understanding by anyone who comes here to compete with us to appreciate this is our house. And I've said it before, if you come here and don't bring your A game, we're going to hand your butt to you. And we have someone who knows how to do that. So I'm very excited that we have Jonathan here. I know it's wonderful for him to have this opportunity to come back. And we're all going to be in there helping in any way we can and watching some wonderful change occur in this program. You've seen it elsewhere in our athletics program. We have a number of teams that are doing wonderfully and have in the recent past, and we need to get back there with respect to football as well. Now, as much as I know you really like listening to me, let me introduce the coach of Oregon State University football, Jonathan Smith.